I'm Niam from Dental Plan. We're a indie punk, hard rock, grunge band out of Melbourne, Australia, and yeah, we just released our debut album, Raw Nerve.
Beautiful, Niam. Thanks for joining us today, brother.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So, as you say, Dental Plan last month released your debut album, Raw Nerve. So, how's the early reception been for it?
Yeah, it's been really good. I mean, we've kind of got a lot more streams than I expected. Um, and yeah, people seem to have been digging it. Like it's sort of done what it's needed to do, which I think is kind of get the word about the band out there because yeah, we've been a band for a while, and it's our first record, so yeah, it's been good. Yeah, a long time coming, but yeah, I think people are responding, and I'm just looking forward to kind of getting out and playing some shows to support it. Really.
Yeah. Now, you've got a couple of EPs that have come out earlier on before this, mate, but what sorts of things as a band do you discuss going into your debut album? Like, there'd be a lot more thought process going into just an EP, wouldn't there?
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing we put out was essentially a demo that we said was an EP, and that was like, I think we recorded that even before we played the show. The second one was just like, yeah, a couple of tracks, and then yeah, the album was sort of more of a full band thing. Like we had two guitarists, a permanent drummer, and Joe and I, who started the band, the bassist. And so yeah, it was kind of like definitely more of a thought out, like what are the songs we want to have to represent ourselves so far. So one of the tracks on there, Way Down, was like the first track we ever wrote. We re-recorded that for the record. Hole in Me, which we recorded a video for a couple of years ago, we remixed and remastered that. And the rest of them are like all new tracks over the last couple of years. So yeah, it's pretty much just production was bigger. Like we wanted it to sound bigger. Wanted it to kind of have like everything to be. There's more guitar tracks on the album. Like I've done a bunch of additional guitar tracks, and yeah, to just make it fuller and bigger, and just kind of yeah, more of an album, I guess. Like there's more pressure, I suppose.
Yeah. Now, you've been quoted as saying that this album is a representation of the life of the band so far. So, can you elaborate on that a bit for us?
Yeah, so I suppose just what I said, where it's kind of like it's got everything from our very first track to our most recent stuff. And the band is a lot different now than when we started. Like it was just three of us mucking around for a laugh, and yeah, it's I think it's a good representation of what we've done so far, and it's kind of like I'm glad it's finally out, so we can kind of support it and move forward and do new stuff as well.
Mhm. Now, you mentioned this before, bro, but you've covered a wide variety of genres on Raw Nerve. You've got everything from punk to rock to grungy stuff in there. So, how do you find the balance between those genres in the writing process? And like, how do you know when you've gone too far with one, maybe, or not enough with another?
I think it's honestly just stuff that we like. Like we all grew up listening to kind of like in the 90s when alternative rock and punk was really big, So growing up as kids on it, watching MTV or whatever and getting super into all that stuff. And obviously, delving further down the path after that. But I think it's just honestly stuff we like. Like I'll just sit down and play a song, and if I think it's a good song, I don't really care too much about what the genre is. Like if I'm pissed off or something and feeling a certain way, I might write a song like Hole in Me, or if I want something to do like something a bit more melodic, I'll do something like Can't Get What You Want. But I think all the themes honestly are pretty dark. Like even if the songs are kind of like happy, the lyrics are actually pretty dark stuff. So I think that it sort of ties it all together that it's not really an upbeat have a party sort of band, but yeah, we do encompass a few genres, I think. Like yeah.
And so you guys formed back in 2018, mate. Like we've gone over your music a little bit, but what sorts of things, I guess, have you learned about the band and your music in general since you started till now?
Well, I think it's just always playing to our strengths. I always wanted a second guitarist, and I think now I honestly think it's only been probably the last 6 months to a year that we've really been the band that we want to be live. I think it took us a long time to kind of get a solid lineup and stuff that happened over the plague or whatever just set things back a few years and then yeah, I think that we just now we're at a point where like we've got a record we're happy with and we're performing. We're the band that I think that we want to be, and that it's just taken us a long time to kind of get there. It's just been a bit of a journey. But yeah, I think what we've learned is it's just yeah, we rehearse a lot, we rehearse every week, and just having that friendship and that kind of the outlet of the four of us that we've made sort of a regular routine and a regular thing, I think really helps us come together and play better and sort of get more motivated and get stoked about everything that's happening. Like,
Yeah, hell. Now you touched on this before, bro, but you re-recorded a version of the first song that you ever wrote called "Weighed Down," mate. So a bit of
yeah.
nostalgia for you, man. But was it? Did you make it different to the original version, or did you just keep it the same?
Yeah, we made it different. Like I just added a couple more guitar parts and just kind of gave it a bit more flair. Like there's kind of like a production technique where Dan Antics, who mixed it, he also mixed the Saint Sinner stuff. He kind of flipped just a few little sounds, and he kind of flipped like the riff to go backwards, so it sort of kicks in before it goes into the chorus. Just like little production techniques and vocal and guitar stuff. Yeah, we made it a lot bigger sounding. Like I listened to the old one, and it's essentially sort of a demo, and the new one's definitely a fleshed out song. And I guess the reason we included it is because we play it every show, and it's one of our most well known songs. So we're like, we may as well, we're going to probably always play the song. We may as well put it on a record. Like,
Yeah, fair call. Now it wouldn't be an album release, bro, without some shows. So tell us what you got coming up to promote it.
yeah, so Saturday, August 31st, we're releasing it in Melbourne at the Old Bar. We've got a really cool grunge rock band called Snub supporting, and a couple of hardcore punk bands, Krull and Side Splitter. So yes, Old Bar, 31st of August, last day of winter, hopefully for Melbourne. Um, and then we're going to head up to Queensland, New South Wales, Adelaide, and all that stuff later in the year. I've just got to finalize those dates, and yeah, we want to do a proper sort of run, for the album.
Very cool. All right, brother. Well, thanks for your time. Niam, it's been a pleasure speaking with you, mate. The debut album from Dental Plan called Raw Nerve is out now, and she's got a bit of everything in there, like you say, bro. I had to listen before the interview, and she's some quality stuff, mate. Well done.
Yeah, thanks, appreciate it, Chris, and yeah, thanks for all your help, bloody legend.